folks, welcome back for another episode of Our Journeys. It has been a while since we had Brave Carriod do an entire video, and she has just been continuing to send me videos as she plays or as she observes games. It's been fantastic. I now have enough to do an entire video, which works out well because I'm currently out of town. Enjoy it. Enjoy the commentary. Again, it's a completely different flavor than what I usually do, which is great. So hopefully you enjoy it. Greatly appreciative to Brave, and here we go!
Okay, so I was playing a ladder game, and it was really rubbishly depressing day on ladder. And I just hit record on this because I managed to Galen Vivek, and I thought it might be quite funny if I pulled him, so I figured I'd just record the end of this match. It would be quite funny actually if I won this one, because they've been like taunting, and it's also another one of those rubbishy forward camp jobs, which I particularly hate. So I figured it was worth just quickly hitting record on this. I don't know who's watching me at the moment actually.
May the fates smile on Khajiit.
Oh, it's Raxon. See what I mean? They're a bit of a git, aren't they?
Ready to move out.
This is my Naughty Tribunal deck, by the way, the one that is based around Gourmet. Okay, so I've got Ryan and Roxanne watching. Looking pretty grim, isn't it? If they've got a javelin, I'm pretty much done for. Go on, hit face, give me a card. Oh, look at that. Now, do I bolt? Actually, no. Maybe I'll put Brimmer out first. I'm not very good at noticing workarounds now. That doesn't feel right. Let's think, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I've got enough to put Brimmer out, get a bit of health back, and Carno. And then maybe I can get...
There's a plan.
yeah, I think Ancano on the guard. Then I should be able to bolt them. Now, I really would love to get that extra Vivek out, because that would be so funny. But I have to be sensible, don't I?
This one thanks you.
Goodbye, Taunter. Hee.
Another volley.
Let's do this. Fire all we.
Going back to game to find a rematch
They
going
dare
on.
face the blade mistress of Valenwood?
Goodness me. Very exciting. I've done it again though, haven't I? I should really have dual spectated.
Let's do this. Attack.
I can taste your fear.
This one doesn't seem to be going quite as well for Rye as it did before though. Well, maybe I'll put the guard out. Yeah.
Just follow the trail of blood.
I really must remember in my excitement to actually dual
It would appear
spectate.
that dinner is served.
Looks like K Fluffy's gonna yeah.
I can taste your fear.
He's got the advantage that Max managed to pull the Doomcrag earlier this
Keep
time.
your distance.
We press on.
Maybe a spin a moment, I think.
The forest will not suffer your presence.
They will perish in flames.
Time to fight. Fires all we.
Be still.
We stand united. I taste your fear. I do not fear.
So that's going to be a big clue to K Fluffy that Rye's got Odoving in hand, isn't it?
Bleed from me, mortal fool.
Zen provides.
deliciously aggressive.
This should help you.
Very deliciously aggressive. That's definitely going to force out an Odoving, isn't it?
Cannot hide.
Wow, this is just so exciting to watch. I now wish I was dual spectating. I suppose in some respect, if I was, it wouldn't be quite so thrilling, would it? Oh, look at that! Oh, they're so cute, those deadly draugrs. I think we're going to see Tiny Dragon. Just for a laugh, go on, Vi. I shouldn't say that. It's not really fair, is it? But it's just really exciting to watch these two play. Goodness me, I really thought K Fluffy was going to win it until the last couple of rounds. Very exciting. Much as I dislike ladder, I have to start making attempts to climb because I want to make rank 4.
Light your path. Well met, marsh friend.
It's been a pretty unpleasant day on ladder, I have to admit.
What have we here?
Normally I rely on my old faithful, the Ebon Guards, to
Tribunal's justice.
climb, but I have switched decks a fair bit today because no matter what I play, I end up getting somebody who has the exact perfect counter for it.
The forest will not suffer your presence.
I mean, this person's traditionally playing the usual ebb and slay thing, whereas mine is more ebb and guard based. I have noticed some Eben decks beginning to bring this veteran back. I mean, I play him a lot. It's nice to see that he's coming back into fashion. I think I was playing an Eben deck, I think it was yesterday, and they actually were running him as well. Whereas in the past you used to just see, it was quite rare to see like a full veteran deck. Oh, yippee. They're going to be a bit disappointed in a minute, aren't they?
May the fates smile on Khajiit.
They're going to be very disappointed in a minute, aren't they? Well, it's tempting to get rid of that support straight away. You know I love to get rid of them. But maybe I'll just get rid of their rally guys. Let's have a think about this. Yeah, let's annoy them.
The day is mine.
I've still got Shadow Fen if need be, if they bring something really nasty out.
The hist revives.
Yippee! Not.
Repel the invaders.
We must protect our stronghold.
Same old tricks, isn't it? Now, after a horrible, brutal day on ladder, that brought a lovely warm glow to my heart to get rid of that support. I am the support killer of the friends group after all. This deck runs 9 support killers. My Ebon Animals runs 12. Be not. We're kind of getting into the old rage sort of region now, but having said that, I can piss them off a bit by making rage more expensive. I can't help being naughty, can I? Let's wait for them to trade first before I do anything more. Oh, they're seeing they can't actually silence him. They must be a bit gutted that they can't actually, they had to use that bow on that. Oh no, really? That's annoying, isn't it? So I think I'm going to have to starve them for a bit. Always happy to see Three Feather War Chief turn up. So I'm going to build a board. But not over-invest too much because they're bound to have a rage in hand, aren't they? They always do. They can have like hardly anything in hand and they'll get some lethal. Look at that! Okay, they're going to be a bit disappointed in a minute then, aren't they? Shadowfen, Three Feather, I think. Shadowfen first, otherwise it'll put his health back.
This should help you.
I do like to go than Three Feather. He's the most cheap removal going. I'm surprised more people don't use him, really.
Too late for you.
He takes down those Git eye leads a treat. If I get a chance, I'll tend 99% of the time. Oh, for goodness sake. I mean, I like that Khajiit, but not on the other side of the board. Here we go. But having all that magic is not going to help you, matey, when you've got only 2 cards in hand. Oh, for goodness sake. What do you want to bet that's a rage, then? Yippee, not.
Back off, dry skin.
I might as well set up.
I mean to have the tribunal's justice.
I mean, I'm going to lose a fair bit here, but in terms of cards. I'm just hoping the card starving works and they don't actually have a rage in hand. Please, let that card be something rubbish. In fact, let both of their cards be something rubbish. Come on, game, you know, you've been a bitch to me all day. So please, can I have them have some rubbishy cards in hand for change? Oh, yippee, not. I suppose it could have been worse, couldn't it?
Should have been more worthy.
You cannot have.
Right, I need to get him hitting. I think I'll set up the board.
To have the tribunal's justice.
If I fall,
Starve them a bit more. Although I don't really like the fact that they're not too hard up, are they, really? Come on, be something rubbish, be something rubbish. Yay, it's something rubbish. Let's see what it was. Oh, here we go. Same old let's bring the bat back routine. I suppose it's so tedious when that happens, isn't it? All good. It's my honey bun there, isn't there? Let's starve them some more.
what have we here?
Please be something rubbish.
I do not fear.
Yippee! Not. Here we go. Right. Okay, well. Let's not give them a chance to draw too much.
My claws are sharp and thirsty.
Oh, for goodness sake, of all the things that they have, they get that.
Throat.
What do you want to bet if I,
If I fall, the beast will reclaim me.
I bet they've got some bloody bow there, or, Archer's Gambit. You can just rely on it, can't you? Or they'll have Cicero, something like that, won't they? Oh, that's almost as bad, isn't it? Great. It's my other honey barn. Oh, they're both so handsome, aren't they?
Repel the invaders.
I think I'm gonna leave it actually. This is that delicate balance, isn't it, where you kind of need to stop them drawing. Oh, of course. Of course they'd get that. This is that delicate balance when I'm trying to starve them. Get rid of him. Sorry, darling. Okay, maybe I'll go for Garnag. Don't really like doing that with having him there without any protection, but needs must. Another darling.
No one gets through. Tawaka watches over me.
I think should I keep draft? Because they're bound to have another slow support, aren't they? I think they're going to have another one. They always do. Of course they'd get that, wouldn't they? Yippee. Okay.
Enjoy the next life.
A little bit of progress, and then here we go. Come on. I think normally I would go for charge with that, but I think needs must. I mean, they've got 2 cards. What are the odds they're going to have a Viper or Fel the Mighty? Put the draft out now, all in. Or I suppose they'll have to finish off as well, won't they?
I bark and birth. This is interesting.
Walk with our Lord.
Yippee! Not. Oh, thank God for that. Thank you, darling. Oh, belligerent
This
giant, I
one
love you.
thanks you.
By the egg, a fine battle.
It has been an engaging.
Right, that giant deserves a slap-up meal. Chippy on me. Okay, so this is a new build that Aros is experimenting with. He's said he's got a cool combination he's trying to pull off, so we'll see if he manages it. At the moment I'm a bit in the dark as to what that cool combination is, but hopefully in typical style he'll probably make a few comments in the chat as we go along. So it looks like he's up against your traditional sort of slay lethal jobby. I'm expecting a Wardcrafter to go down there, and then Wardcrafter again the next round. Always very difficult with lethal because it's you really do need to have quick counters for it before it starts snowballing with all their archery and movement malarkey. So I'm expecting the other Wardcrafter to go in the shadow lane just so it doesn't become an easy kill.
Watch yourself now.
Nothing this early on to want to do a headless zombie on, but oh, that's unusual. I don't normally see that in a archer deck. Interesting. So it looks like some clues around the combination. You've got your headless zombie and your reanimate, so it's clear he wants to do something with a graveyard. And I'm assuming it's something that's less expected than the usual suspects. Maybe he's trying to rehabilitate the sort of reanimation thing, so it's not always Alduin and Parthenax, which is pretty boring, isn't it?
By the light of 2 moons, you will pay.
Oh wow, that's a biggie, that is. I think that's going to have a harpy on it. And then a bolt next round. Thank goodness that didn't come out round turn 8, isn't it? You'd then looking at a very nasty what's it? What's the name of the Unstoppable Rage, isn't it? And to see how little I play Unstoppable Rage, can't you? I have to think about what it's called. Yep, he's setting up the he's making it clear to them that he's setting up to kill that next round.
Let's take care of business.
Interesting choice. I can see why they use Ebon Thread. Oh, so they're just doing it to keep their guy alive. I mean, I use Ebon Thread Cloak in my Transmog deck. It's very useful if you've got something you want to keep alive for a turn, just so you can get the value out of it. I think we're just going to have the Golden Initiate here. Still way too early for the... from the look of it. Way too early for the combo.
The tribunal will always.
Oh, that's interesting. I suppose he just wants to buff it to get rid of that. It's just magnificent, that effect, isn't it? Particularly with such a beautiful premium. He clearly just wanted to get the buff effect so he could get rid of that and keep his creatures going. There's a bit of a skeleton theme going on here, isn't there? So I think that's a clue to the combination, but I can't imagine it's your box standard skeleton deck.
The forest will not suffer your presence.
I have the Midnight Burial as well. There's clearly some kind of skeleton he wants to bring back from the graveyard. We just haven't seen him draw it yet, whatever it is. That was a very handy javelin, wasn't it? I'm expecting he'll hold off here, because otherwise he'll be giving them cards. And he does have a clear card advantage at the moment. Maybe he'll use the Midnight Burial, and we might get a clue as to what. Yes. I wonder which skeleton he's going for then. Oh. Ah, so that's the one that gives you draw a 0 cost card when you draw him. Okay, and Doppelganger, so clearly the part of the combo is he wants to draw that skeleton and then Doppelganger it, so he gets basically 2, hopefully, high value cards at 0 cost. That must be what the combination is. In a way, that's kind of a more inventive way of doing something similar to the Nixox combo, where you actually get your Magicka up and then are able to get extra creatures out, except this time he's looking to get some high value creatures for nothing. It's quite an interesting idea. Now the thing is, pretty obvious they're going to be running Rage, isn't it? So he might just Icy Shambles to take something off the board, but not put it over in the shadow lane. I think we're still a few rounds away from his combo going off. risky, but at least it's a fairly, I'll say, yes, they could rage, but it's not really worth it their while, is it? So it's a calculated risk, really.
By the divines!
Now that's perfect timing, that is. That fingers the mountain, isn't it? Absolutely perfect. And surely he's not going to leave that giant alive, it's just too risky. It looks like he's got some of the pieces of the puzzle in place. He might need to do a bit of health gain before he actually attempts it, though. Good to see 2 goblins just... Oh, no, maybe not. Oh, wow. This is going to be cool, isn't it?
I feel a storm coming.
I slay the unworthy.
Wow, let's hope they don't have a big rage in their hand. Wow. That really is quite a vicious looking dragon, isn't it? All credit to the opponent. They've bided their time in using that support to buff their dragon. Now I wonder, is he going to go for the giant to chuck that back, or is he going to go for... No, what else? He must be... Spinner, maybe. It'd have to be Spinner, wouldn't it? Because then he can actually kill it. Tossing it back's only going to delay it. Oh, well that works just as well. Very nicely done. Okay, so he knows that I'm not going to reply while he's writing.
Let's see your fire.
Interesting to see if what the full plan is. Ah, yes, so that I did surmise that right.
Let's make the ancestors proud.
Ah, Wisp Mother. Of course, Wisp Mother's a skeleton as well, isn't she? Wow, that would be really, really cool if you can just pull it off. I always find that Wisp Mother is a very shy creature, though. I mean, some people she comes out for regularly, but I remember having a Wisp Mother deck. It was built by Mr. Death, actually, Mr. Death ATZ, and he very kindly built a Wisp Mother deck for me. So I've been laughing about how I always get high hands, no matter how cheap the cards, and that deck never it never worked. But I mean, he was one of the best deck builders in game, so. But yeah, Wisp Mother, she was a shy creature for me. She never turned up. I'd just have a load of weak creatures on board and just lose miserably. But for some people, I've seen them pull off the combo. So I'll be really happy for Aros if he manages to get that done here. Come on, Wisp Mother. Ah, he's saying he's tried twice and, and she hasn't shown for him either. Naughty Wisp Mother. Come on, Wisp Mother. If you'll come on the board, I'll start flattering you and saying how beautiful you are.
Let's make the ancestors proud.
Come on, Wisp Mother, most beautiful of spirits. You need to get in now on the board so that you don't miss your chance to shine. Goodness me, they're getting a lot of value out of that Slay guy, aren't they? I have to admit, it's a more interesting assassin deck than the ones you normally see, isn't it? Sorry, I should say, well, Slay Archer. I always seem to want to call Archer Assassin and Assassin Archer. Just me jumbling my words again, isn't it? Oh, look.
Rise, my son.
This is a very cool combo in itself. Look at that, I mean that automatically gets him a better creature than he'd normally get. So I think maybe we'll go for our Spirit again. Oh no, he's going for Mana Marco.
I fight with the fervor of the wild hunt.
Oh, lovely. I must admit, I'd find it quite tempting to just grab the giant and get rid of one of those supports, but that's because I hate supports, isn't it? Let's face facts.
Citizen.
Now, thankfully, the opponent's staying in the game because they've still got a decent number of cards, so we might get to see the combo go off in full. That's actually quite funny. The fact their target's now automatically armed. Ah, so Aros is commenting a bit more about his plan. He knows I'll reply after this game. Basically, I asked him beforehand, I said, do you want me to try and capture it on film if you're doing this, so he's well aware of why I'm not replying. And he'll probably want this to keep this balance, won't he? We're getting the combination. But he doesn't want to go too over the top, otherwise the opponent will probably just quit. I mean, they must know that he's up to something. Well, it's pretty obvious to them, isn't it? He could just kill them if he wanted to. But hopefully they'll be a good sport and carry on and just treat it as an opportunity to try and regroup. Oh wow, look at that. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine how that Willibnir is going to buff himself? 2 Slay things on supports on board. And lots of choice targets, aren't there? Aros is right though, he is going to have to end it, otherwise they'll just regroup too much. Wow. What a lethal dragon, literally. Wow. And the harpy. That's really clever, because you think about how they can actually keep him going for much longer with those extra supports. Surely he's going to go for the harpy as well. Oh no. My goodness, talk about a field clear. I mean, that's magnificent, isn't it? That is absolutely magnificent. Can you imagine that? I mean, he doesn't need to have a Swift Strike, but can you imagine that with the Swift Strike? It'd be scary, wouldn't it? Scary as hell. Well, if Aros hadn't already said he was going to try and end it, then that's definitely a message to end it. Surely... Let's have a think. Would it be a spinner again? Oh no, he's going for the doppelganger. He's definitely going for his combo, big time. Wow.
Rise, my son.
Oh no, is he going to doppelganger man the marker and get rid of that big dragon? Surely he's going to have to do that. But then again, it's only going to come back, isn't it? I suppose that won't matter then. Wow, this is like nerve-wracking. I mean, they've still got quite a big hand, haven't they? There's quite a lot they could do. I mean, all it would take really would be... What's that? That 10 cost one that clears the field. I can't remember the name of it. He's saying that he's not had any Wake the Deads turn up, so I'm just going to shake my hand and say, naughty Wake the Dead. Oh look, he managed to survive and pull it off. That was amazing for both. Well done to both.
This episode brought to you by Dawnbreaker, courtesy of Viclius. It's actually a reimagining, not a brand new card. It is still a 4 cost. It is still called Dawnbreaker. It is still a +4/+4 to your stats. The difference is in the sleigh. When destroying an undead, deal 4 to all other undead in this lane. Not gonna lie, I kind of like this. Right now, so originally Dawnbreaker was... everything was the same, but it was that when you use it, you could destroy an undead. That you weren't even touching it. You didn't have to hit it with the sword. You literally just equipped it, and you could destroy an undead in any lane, which was really freaking cool. And I thought it really gave Dawnbreaker this really awesome mechanic and mystique. It really made it a unique legendary. But it got nerfed to the point where now it doesn't do anything to the undead in particular unless you kill with it. If you have slay, it has a slay effect, and if you kill an undead with it, it banishes that particular unit. So if they're only running one Night Talon Lord and you kill it, they can't resurrect it. So it still has some effect, but it's really minimal. It really doesn't have as big of an impact on the board or in the game. I like this idea where it's able to still deal mass damage to undead. And I think the circumstances in which it would be devastating, where you would have, I mean, aside from something like Bone Colossus, I can't really think, and even then, once you take out Bone Colossus, I mean, the other skeletons aren't buffed, you just got a lane of, well, you got 4 1/1s or 3 1/1s. It's not really that big of a deal. So I think the amount of times that it would be devastating when used, particularly because it's confined to a certain lane, isn't going to be as much. The potential, the high end, is much more, because it's going to give you a good visual, it's going to do really cool things, like, whoa, but it's not going to be as... it's not going to be as frequent or prevalent, so that's why I kind of think it may not be broken. The only thing I will say is that I think one of the reasons Dawnbreaker got a nerf is because a 4-cost 4/4 like item is really good anyway, so it's not like this is a situation. Like if it was one of those things where this weapon is kind of garbage unless it's against undead, so if you're running it in your deck, it's high cost, high reward. If you dare to run this card in your deck, and you happen to come across, a player who's using a bunch of undead, then if you draw it, you've got a great thing on your hands. But if you're not playing against undead, it's not going to do much. This, as a 4/4, it does a lot on its own. It really doesn't even need any bonus stats to it. I think, again, for the lore, I think you want to give it something spicy as a unique legendary. You want to give it something. So maybe where it's at now is where it's the most fair. But I think it's a great idea. If nothing else, it's a great concept. Maybe you make it cost more, but again, so situational. I don't know. I kind of liked its original stats. I liked that it would kill an undead. And Crab in the Discord said he wished it would also do that to Daedra. And it was pointed out that, undead or not Daedra, and he said, and I know, I just thought it would be nice, just to be able to kill some more Daedra. And I think that's not tied to Daedra as a class, but Daedra as it is been morphed and distorted and uglified even worse by the invade mechanic. So anyway, it's a great thought. You know, being able to revisit cards and say, hey, you know, can we do something special? I would like to see Dawnbreaker's unique ability be a little bit more special. I mean, the spark, the Staff of Sparks is really cool. The Mentor's Ring is really cool. These are well, no, actually, Mentor's Ring is not a unique legendary. Staff of Sparks is, though. I do believe. So yeah, I mean, it could go any which way. But Viclius, great thinking. I like where your head's at. What do you all think? Would that be overstated? Would that be too much? I'm guessing anybody who doesn't really run undead is probably going to say no, and then anybody who runs undead is going to say, oh, that's absolute garbage. I never want to see that happen. So, to each their own. But again, a great thought. And now back to the games.
Okay, so we're joining a Ross NPO for a second game of his experimental tribunal deck, which, as you now see, he's trying to make Nakrim, Dragon Priest, a viable sort of card again. And the combo basically is that he is aiming to draw Nakrim and get some zero cost using Doppelganger, as well get some zero cost sort of cards, really high value cards to, and also Wisp Mother. So basically, he has Wisp Mother on board and uses Nakrim to get, fingers crossed, some high value creatures for zero, basically, because Nakrim allows him to do that. However, a lot of his high value bodies seem to be coming out early. Naughty Mirak and Naughty Supreme Atromancer. I mean, really, Mirak, that's very risky, isn't it? Because you know Death Priest likes to mummify you. Oh, look, he's got Wisp Mother. She's here! And I must apologise to Wisp Mother. I called her a skeleton in my last game that I was watching, but she's actually a spirit. And I'm just going to flatter her for a bit and say, most beautiful of spirits, do good by a Ross today. And I'll buy you a cream tea later, because I'm sure that spirits like cream teas, don't they? Oh, this is an interesting Telvanni, not your usual. I mean, so, bless him, he's just saying that he's hoping that we get his combination to go off for this match. But this is a really interesting Telvanni as well. I mean, I've obviously seen that consume creature when it's paired with Namira's Ring of Namira, and the combo for that one, which I don't think they're doing here because they've got some more sort of neutral cards. But the combo for that one is normally Journey, Sovngarde, and then they direct damage to face for every creature that comes out the graveyard. But they're not doing that here. Looks like they've got something a bit more interesting going on, which I never thought I'd say. Oh, Brass Arbalest, is it? Well, this is interesting because I've never seen that card played in a Telvanni before. All credit to the opponent for doing something a bit different as well. Always good to have Galen on hand. I reckon that he's going to Galen Marak. I mean, you would, wouldn't you? I mean, perhaps a Grey Viper as well this round, because that's part of his card draw. I mean, in terms of card draw. I reckon he'll, as I said, Mirak, but I reckon that he might put Grey Viper out as well. Yes, I thought so. I mean, I've seen another player, I forget the name now, but I think it's one of the other MPOs, and they use Grey Viper and will to copy that. And use that a lot for because basically in Tribunal there's not a huge amount of draw, but Grey Viper's a good way to get draw. So if you can copy him and get extra copies of him in the graveyard, it's quite a good way to get that extra draw. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting Telvanni, and I never thought I'd say the day that there's an interesting Telvanni. So credit to the opponent too. It's quite interesting.
We must count on our wits.
two less orthodox decks together, competing against each other.
The Black Hand sees all.
That's a bit disappointing for them, isn't it, having a scuttler? I mean, surely this isn't some kind of weird Telvanni Unite. I don't see how it could be. I've not seen any evidence of, well, not that I'm great at spotting. I have seen someone try to do a Telvanni Unite before, but I don't think this is.
Feel the Night Mother's wrath.
Nothing will stop my rise.
We draw power from their blood.
Now that would be good if you got an Ice Storm roundabout now, wouldn't it? I mean, you really don't want to leave her on the board. She gives too much value. Oh, that's a pity, isn't it? That's a bit painful. I think he needs to finger the mountain.
I feel a storm coming.
I do love the sound effect from that support. This is quite tense now because he's facing quite a formidable board, isn't he? That's quite hypnotic looking at that. I think it's Telvanni Open, the guy that's got the nice sort of blue flame.
Perhaps a direct approach.
Oh, they didn't do what he wanted them to. This is definitely an interesting Telvanni. So let's have a think. So I think we're going to have another fingers here, aren't we? It's getting a bit tense here. He's leaving it a bit long. I know I was watching another game earlier and he left it too long and the timer ran out before he finished doing all of his moves. So I really hope that he gets a move on here. Come on. You trying to give me white hair or something? Oh, wow. Now that's really interesting. He obviously wants to get Nakreem back. Oh no. Absolutely hate workshop myself, so never pleased to see it in my own matches, let alone
Greetings from the last living dwarf.
when I'm watching someone else's. They definitely like that card, don't they? Oh, so we're going to see the combo go off now. Icy Shambles would be a very good one because she can lock down quite a bit.
Training is over. It's time to act.
Wow. Good value from those. Oh, even better is... Very nicely done. Surely he's going to have to add something else in there. He needs another guard, probably.
Mistakes were made.
I hope for his sake that they... Ah dear. I think this is kind of a nervous giggle coming out because I really don't want that to mess things up for him. I think they... Hopefully they can't get access to lethal. Maybe the Ice Storm? Oh no, they're going to go for conscription.
Swiftly and silently. Mouth paws.
I almost wished in a way that these two become friends afterwards because they're obviously both quite inventive. That'd be fun. I mean, they must feel that they're fairly secure now. This is really quite tense. I mean, let's have a look. So he can probably use Dark Rebirth. Come on, come on, come on! Don't leave it too long because you don't want the time to run out. I swear he's trying to give me white hair. He often spends quite a long time, and it's right down to the wire before he does his combos. And these ones take quite a while to do. I'm kind of on the edge of my seat here. Ah, so he's going for the combo. Even though he doesn't need to, he just wants to do it for the sense of achievement. Goodness me. That time is ticking down. He's going to have to get a move on, isn't he?
You fight well.
Ah, so he's conceded because he wanted them to know that he wasn't just messing with them, basically. So I've just joined Banana Schwaaard in the event, and he's running what's quite a popular deck in the Elsewhere Gauntlet, which is the Waxwane Assassin. The other one that tends to be quite popular in the event is a Waxwane Monk. But there's also been a fair number of people running Battle Mage as well. It's quite interesting to see someone running Warrior in this event. Perhaps they've aimed to get some support removers in, ready to stop any of the Waxwane shenanigans, we shall see.
It's too late to run.
It's a bit of a risky move, them investing that heavily in that kitty, isn't it? One of the things I really like about
Follow me, men.
this particular mechanic is the sort of shackle options. That Cartel Arcadis is very useful. I think he's going to hold on to that until next round, isn't he? The Arcadis, that is. I mean, obviously he wants to take out that 4-4 pretty sharpish.
Unclad fools!
Now, he might ward up that little kitty just to be on the safe side. We shall see. But that would be a nice leaf lurker next round, wouldn't it?
Watch yourself now.
Why is he opting to ration their cards by not giving them any extras? Or card starving, as I call it. Ah, that's definitely going to get leaf lurkered now. They've invested quite a lot in it, haven't they? The opponent's holding back a little bit. Can't say I blame them really. I mean, they know that he's got card advantage. I think he's going to hold back again. He doesn't want them to even out their card. Oh wow, look at that. Ouch.
Let's do this. Attack. Time to fight.
Take the ward off? Yes, I thought so. But they're still at a big card disadvantage at the moment. Okay, I think that Moongate's going to go straight up, isn't it?
There will be secrets for this one tonight.
I think that's going to get shackled down sharpish, isn't it?
You're going to regret crossing this.
It's a cool graphic on that, isn't it? I think he's going to hold off still. There's no advantage in letting them have extra cards.
Their defenses will crumble. Time to mount up.
Goodness me, that could be very painful. But I think he's got what it takes to... oh, another kitty. I reckon he's got what it takes to sort of get that dead.
Unclad fools!
Here we go. Probably a guard as well. I bet they're getting a bit fed up of hearing that sound, aren't they?
This one will tear them to shreds.
Goodness me. It's almost like perfect draw for Banana, isn't it? He'll use the Arcanist to take out the aspect. So a child of her scene, won't he? Oh. Might even need to do that. Oh yes, he's going to. That'd be cool if we could get Wisp Mother out, but his board is a bit on the full side at the moment.
Time to march.
I do love lumbering ogre, and there's something very comical about it, isn't there? I used to like playing lumbering ogre with oh, what was it? Imposter's Mission, so I could kind of copy him up and get a 7/7. I used to do that quite a lot in friendlies when I was playing against Javelin. Always very funny. However, I don't think that Ogrim is long for this world. In fact, I think Banana's just going to go for it, isn't he? Well, that was an emphatic victory, wasn't it? Well done, Banana. It's been a pretty awful day on ladder. I haven't really laddered seriously before this day because of working long hours. It's been pretty foul. I mean, I've been like in and out of Snake so many times, and in fact spent a lot of time at the bottom of Snake because I'd like win a match and then lose a match and that. A lot of it's been like God draw for the opponents. I did a couple of games where I made a dumb error and which lost me the game, but most of it's been God draw or my deck's drawing badly, and also there's been a heck of a lot of Titan gits, workshop gits, and market gits, all my most hated multi-support type things. And although I've been running decks with a lot of support killers, I haven't really drawn my support killers, which is critical to taking down those the mechanics. Quite happy to see a Grubite Mage here. I mean, normally this kind of opponent is oh, maybe it's not going to be the usual, because normally when you see that combo, it's 99% of the time it's like Titan gets, isn't it? Thank you, Snake. Looks like we've got some interesting aggro build going on here. Let's try and ramp a bit. Good to see my Ebon Guards are out in strength, and we're not too far off Grabmite either. So I'm going to put her in the other lane in case they've got an arrow storm, and he can stay out there because nobody likes seeing a cultist, do they? Oh, wow. So that's a health gain deck then.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
Right, that's not going to be long for this world, is it? I can do a bit of ramping as well. Now, shall I put the spirit out? Yeah, I think I will. Keep the pressure up. I've got my nice archer there ready in case they put a support out, which they're bound. I think there must be a health gain build, mustn't they? Brilliant. Okay, I think Banelord. I love it when the synergy on this deck, when it actually is spot on, is absolutely perfect. But
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
this is like a rare oasis in the day that I've had laddering. Really, I now have turned into the git that gets the perfect draw. That cost them 8. That's quite funny. Look at that goblin. Very good. Okay, might be time for a Grumite, I think. In case they've got a Dawn's Wrath or something. Oh, pity it wasn't a Dawn's Wrath, but let's put the bat in another lane just in case they do any more shenanigans. Okay, so they're not very keen on me getting health, are they? Oh, poor Grumite. Sorry, darling. Yippee! Look at all that rally. Well, there's a snake that can answer that, isn't there? And some silence as well, I think. Now, normally I would keep the silence in case they put a big guard up, but I don't really want them rallying, and it kind of puts them under additional pressure to take that extra bonus off because they could be like looking to buff a guard.
Demand your death.
Oh, that's going to be too late.
They've no move we can't.
I have to admit, I do like Apex Wolf. I mean, when I was in middle tier, I saw a lot of Apex Wolf, and I was absolutely desperate to get that Frostbark collection. And it was actually some of the cards in that Frostbark collection, because I didn't have a full collection when I was in middle tier. That kind of helped me jump the barrier from like middle tier to the sort of top tier. And then I was able to make Legend. So I've got a fair amount of affection for Apex Wolf. And actually, when I was in that middle tier, it was a really good learning experience for me, because I was lacking a lot of cards, and quite often from seeing what opponents, I'd see cards that I hadn't seen before, because I wasn't that experienced a player at that point. And like Sai Sahan, I'd never even encountered him, and then when I saw someone play it, I thought, wow, you just get to see, when you're like a newer player, which obviously this is some time ago now, but it's quite often from seeing what your opponents are playing, those people who've got a full collection, that you learn which cards to target first when you're trying to expand your collection. So, although I wouldn't ever want to go back to the middle tier because it'd be really hard to climb again, it was a great learning experience on the way to top tier.
This one thanks
Be
you.
silent.
Thank you, darlings.
And that's going to do it for this episode. Again, a huge, huge thank you to Brave for sending me these videos, complete with commentary that I can just kind of plug in. It really helps in general just to, again, bring a fresh voice to the channel. So again, a huge thank you to her. Huge thank you to you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And until next time, keep playing.